Back from Los Angeles. Alright, here we go. Everything should be fine. Let's make sure the overlay is up. I don't have a whole production team today with me, I know, right? How shitty is that? Alright, guys, welcome in again, ladies and gentlemen. Starting over here at the top right side of Whirlwind, representing Fnatic Gaming, it is going to be the Red Zerg Xanster. Woohoo, man, the casting just never ever stops. So we'll see what he's going to have to go and do against his opponent here down at the bottom left side in the purple trunks. It is Millenium's Feast. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, welcome in, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing wonderful on this Tuesday. I gotta remember the days because again, after such a long weekend, I'm completely thrown off. For those who don't know, basically I flew over to Los Angeles on Friday morning. Yeah, like very early Friday morning. Flew over to LA. Saturday had to broadcast for the Collegiate Star League Grand Finals. Saturday Sunday more had to kind of be a little bit of a spectator slash volunteer and help out with whatever I could during the League of Legends day. But a very hectic, very busy, very fun, experience enriching weekend that I have to say the least. So definitely glad to be back, but still, again, just trying to recover. Already some of the effects hit me today, especially when I was just so tired I crashed last night somewhere around 10 o'clock my time. 22 for those that go by the 24-hour clock. And then, of course, typically I don't like to wake up before at least 9 or something like that, or 10, but I'm already up today at 7 o'clock, so I'm just I wonder what I should do. So played a couple hours of Dota, played a couple hours of HOTS, and then got notified about this going on, so this is actually pretty awesome. I'm excited. And oh, what's going on here? Xanster hiding. Oh, this is beautiful. I like this. He hit his drone, but now going to set it down there. Oh, this is such a beautiful play. Smart play by Xanster right there, hiding that drone away. So as soon as Feast came right on in there, he would send it down, take his hatchery, and yeah, at that point, Feast has got to be just a little bit upset. Because yeah, that's definitely kind of one of those things where just as a Protoss, you at least kind of want to pro block for a little bit, even if you don't plan to put down the pylon. But overall, nothing really too crazy. Everything's very standard. We had the early forge getting put down, next follow up, now gate, and now as we see the additional pylon. So again, the game is not seriously affected in any way, shape, or form. Let me just double check and make sure everything is working again. It looks like it is indeed. Woohoo! Yes, awesome. I'm very excited that it is, because definitely sometimes it could go on the wrong end and work really bad. And we don't want that to happen, definitely. Et l'esteren Q-Monte. I don't know. Protoss and Zerg talking about Terran. I wonder what they're saying. Actually, I don't know. My Spanish is not that good enough yet to understand that. But as we see, Xanster starting to kind of move out. He's going to go move up to natural, just kind of put a ling up there. And at this point, I think he's just scouting around for where he's actually at. And there we go, finally finding him across position. Yeah, that's kind of something funny to know. I was just I guess he never actually did a drone scout originally. He just sent the lings out. Of course, seeing that at the bottom over here, so cross positions is a confirm for him. Now he's just going to be able to set up overlords in place, that way he can float in and find out exactly what his opponent is doing. Xanster, meanwhile, has his third hatch placed up and ready, and again, with this type of map, we're one huge, big space, so I would not be shocked or be surprised if, in fact, Xanster did decide to go 3-base Muta and try to maybe play out this Ling Bane Muta style and of course harass him from all different types of areas. Now when the Protoss is sitting at 2-base, again, it's going to be very hard for Zerg to engage, get on in there, and actually do some kind of damage unless he actually has Muta, some kind of Sky Force to be able to fly on in there and avoid the wall off at the natural. So I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a decision making from Xanster. Either he has to go 3-base Muta, or he has to probably grab his 4th hatch and or try to pay attention really closely and grab a 4th hatch if in fact Feast decides to take his 3rd. Now the problem with this map again for some of the Protoss is because some of the big open areas, they really don't want to walk outside of their natural. If they do, they might get caught by a big force, whether it's roaches, lings, whatever else. And I mean, it just causes so many problems throughout the game. And again, I mean, flanks all over the place could be set up, but overall, nothing really too crazy at the moment. As we see Stalker starting off here, doing a little bit of harassment, already taken one drone down. And what is that command? Come on, control follow. There we go. So we're following him, and now they're hacking away at the lings. Hacking away at the queen, and actually I think they might be able to take out the queen. Already one drone taken out, three drones, sorry, 4 drones, fifth one going to be taken out. And look at this, man. Feast doing some serious harassment at the early stages of the game. And some of you guys might say, well, you know what? Not too big of a deal. Again, we just watched him lose a few drones, nothing too big overall. As you see, oh, 4 drones. Okay, sorry, one of those was a Ling. I mistook it for a drone. But yeah, again, I mean, you might think, well, hey, he took out only a few drones, a Ling, did a little bit of harassment. Well, again, that does force units out a little bit earlier. That doesn't allow the Zerg to completely focus on focus on his economy. Every time we see a Zerg typically try to go against a 2-base Protoss, they want to hit as quick as possible a very healthy drone count of about 60, anywhere 65 maybe. 70 is a little bit too much without you knowing exactly what's going on. And again, with having this map distance really far away and very spread out already, Zanster might be in a little bit of trouble when these Phoenixes do come out again. Feast decided to go the Stargate route. And this does have capability to do quite a bit of damage as we take a look and see. The first Evo chamber is just getting placed down right now, and Lair getting finished up as well, so might be a little bit of a vulnerability. Now, I do like this from Zanster. He does send it over to the third in case, you know, for whatever reason, Feast was being overly aggressive in his macro end of the game. He'll be able to snipe that down as quick as possible. Now he sees, well, still stuck on 2-base. Well, cannot do much about that. Can't roll on up there. Can't really harass him and do anything I want in that regards. But here we go. Phoenix is flying across the map again. Zanster still does not know about this just yet. He's got an Overlord's place on the outskirts, but he still hasn't been able to fly him in. He's forming an Overlord right here outside of the natural on the backside, and he's going to find out about it basically just as he flies in. Now, I do sort of like what Feast is what Zanster is doing. He did build a couple blind spore crawlers just in case, and you know, this might save him from getting a lot of damage done. Well, here the Phoenixes are, and they just stop right in front of everything going on, and there we go. The first queen is getting lifted out of the range of the spore crawler, so free queens for the picking, and this is going to send the Lynx back home. But overall, you know, not too much damage can realistically be done. Only a couple drones, a couple queens could get picked off. Fourth hatch getting taken by Zanster as well, so working on the macro end of the game, and this is what we were talking about, sending those Lings back over here to the third. But I think he misclicked. He might have wanted to send them right over here, and again, as soon as these Lings do come over, he should be able to deny this. Now, is speed finished up? No, it's not. It's about 3/4 of the way done. Pylon going to get kind of hacked away, and he needs to actually back up. Be careful. Ooh, man, Force Fields could have been really dangerous right there. A few of those Lings would have been caught, and that could have maybe really hurt the potential counterattack. Now, here we go. A lot of Lings. Speed's about to finish, remember, guys, and he might try to take a dart into the natural. It will be pretty hard with that Zealot kind of hanging out right over here. And yeah, he just said, maybe not today. Maybe I'll just fight to live another day. Maybe I'll work on my macro. Drone up even heavier, get to my hive tech, and as we see already, oh wow, 5 total Phoenixes flying around over here. Now, again, only so much damage was done. Let's take a look and see. 12 total drones overall have been killed. So again, a lot worse could have happened, especially if no spore crawlers were placed. And I'm going to assume probably one more queen at least got picked off. We weren't able to see every little thing about it. But again, the cool thing is the Phoenixes are still alive, so they're going to be viable in regards to maybe lifting infestors, lifting units of the Zerg army, or even, you know, helping out in the late game if he somehow is capable of saving them. Helps aggro some of the fire away from the Corruptors if we see them in the late game as well. So at the moment, first Colossus is out for Feast. He's got a little bit of a nice little miniature army over here at the third base, and now doing a wonderful job walling off the third. This is going to prevent of course, any counterattack lanes, and that's going to be really nice as well. He's also cannoning this up. That way, I mean, he's taking everything out of the way. I mean, he's killing like 3 birds with 1 stone. He's walling off. He's putting in part of his wall for gates, so that's going to allow him to have higher production. With higher production, he's going to be able to get more units. He's got cannons, so in case an attack actually does come there, cannon will be able to ward it off. Got pylons that unsupply block him. So I mean, Feast is actually playing this very nicely. I haven't seen a Protoss play sort of this nice on a map like this, at least on the macro end of the game, in quite a while. Typically, we do see something quite a bit cheesy from the Protoss player. They might go Mortal Sentry all in, just due to the fact that, you know, getting that third base typically can be pretty hard if not careful. But Zanster, meanwhile, right here with a big, nice little link composition, walking around the map. And please, dear God, tell me I have my mic on. Okay, yes, I do. I have like a little bit of a miniature panic attack at the moment. Like, as a caster, like that is almost like the worst feeling ever, because like I get in this habit of like flipping on and off my microphone. So yeah, it was kind of one of those things. I'm just like, no way. I'm like, did I just keep my microphone off? No, I've been muted. No, but everything looks like it's going to be okay. At the moment, everything is still looking pretty fine. Nothing really too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary. More pylons getting added onto the wall. The composition is continued. Let's take a look at the upgrades really quick. 2-0 at the moment with 3 attack about halfway done for the Protoss player Feast. Getting a Warp Prism out as well, which should be interesting, and as well as Charge. Now, the cool thing about this, if he hits this really nice 3-base timing right now, even though the Zerg is pretty maxed out, the most of the army right now, as we see, is right here, guys. It's a few Corruptors, a lot of Lings, and mainly Infestors. So if he gets a really nice engagement right here, as soon as Charge and 3 attack finishes, he might have an opportunity in front of him to break through all of this. Again, it's still pretty hard until you have the Broodlords, until you have something kind of in place to be able to really ward off against the Protoss. There's always that vulnerability, and I mean, we'll just have to see. The only thing that's going to be lacking of the Protoss army for Feast is the fact that he just doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have Archons yet, so that might be a little bit of a problem. And let's take a look and see, is there a Templar archive out? No, there is not whatsoever. And here we go, coming into an attack, and oh, that's kind of a little bit disgusting as we watch and see. Good force field right there, kind of catches some of the units. Good placement right there, beautiful work. Corruptors coming on forward, and they're going to be able to clear the Colossus out of the way pretty fast. And Xanster getting a nice surround right now. All the Colossus are getting taken out, and oh, this is just so terrible for Feast right now. I thought he definitely had a little bit of a better engagement than that, but good Fungos being able to catch a lot of this stuff, and now Fungos trying to catch the additional Stalkers, trying to run away. Overall, beautiful work by Xanster, and again, just kind of showing off his macro and kind of how well he was able to handle all of this. So at this point, Xanster will just back up, recover, regain the energy on his Infestors. He's about got the Greater Spire finished up now. Oh, that's another thing probably pulling him. That's probably another thing pulling him back, isn't there? When we see the Warp Prism drop over here with the Zealots. Did not too much damage, might have been able to kill a few drones, but again, at this point, still the Greater Spire is there, the Infestation Pit is there. Anytime you do kind of one of these Warp Prism drops, you got to really get some serious damage done, whether it's trying to take out the Greater Spire, the Spawning Pool, the Infestation Pit, the Hive. Just got to do really something with it, and there we go. We see as the as we see it try to come back in here, but already with red HP, the Corruptor is able to chase it down and knock it right on over. Stalkers, meanwhile, 4 Feasts located here at the 5th hatch of Xanster. Going to be able to snipe that down, I feel as though, and indeed they will. That's just kind of a little bit too far out of the way at the moment, and again, I don't think Xanster's really too worried about it at the moment. Because again, he just had to get his Broodlords out, recover, and in that regards. Now over here on the right side, he did a little bit of a dual prong attack, in which I do really like, because now that cuts Xanster down to 3 base to 3 base, and when Protoss is 3 base to 3 base, he completely I don't want to say turn the tides, but really increases percentage of being able to stay in the game and being able to potentially kill his opponents. So it's all going to be on his macro and kind of decision making on what he wants to do. And as we see, already going for the Stargate tech, he's got 3 Stargates, all 3 Void Rays underway. He's already getting 1 attack. He's getting armor 1 for the Protoss armies, including even Immortals. Now that's kind of a little bit of a cutesy interesting decision. We don't always see that every day from the Protoss players deciding to go Immortals this late in the game, but again, as we see, they can really do pack a punch, and they do have that distance advantage, so I guess you could kind of utilize them almost as a tank when, in regards to if Infestors are leading the way, just focus them down. Now, what I am worried about is how soon will these Void Rays actually be able to come up here and help, because again, there's already the Zerg army coming up right here. He's got a lot of Infestors with now. Definitely every one of them has Fungals, and even a couple on some of them. Roach is heading on forward. Now, I would caution Xanster to be careful right here with the engagement, because again, one good blink with the Void Rays forward, the Broodlords get complete, the Corruptors get taken out, the Broodlords get taken out. If the Infestors run out of energy, the whole army of the Zerg is completely compromised. Now, back on the other side, good work with the Proxy Pylon. Oh, even took down the 3rd hatch over there. Good snipe by Feast right there. And now Xanster has to actually get something done on this side of the map. If he doesn't, he might be in a lot of trouble. It might be kind of an economic checkmate for him if he can't continue. As we see, it's got about 1,500 minerals, 1,700, almost 1,800 gas in place. Now, I do like the Xanster making sure that we'll check in a couple other areas. Going to take out this 4th location, Pylons. But again, like we were talking, he has to be very careful at the moment. Only really Broodlords are left with Infestors. There's not a lot of Corruptor support for all the anti-air that's going on, as we see how many Void Rays, 4 total Void Rays are out. A good pack of Stalkers and Mortals on the ground, and now he has High Templars included as well, so those could be formed in Archons as well, because he could utilize them for Storms. So again, it is a little bit of a tricky engagement. Basically, the Infestors at this point are going to be what's going to be holding the whole army of Xanster together and prevent the Void Rays and all the other units from taking taking the whole entire Protoss army out. But there we go. Good feedbacks on some of the infestors, and oh, that is just so nice. He's got to be careful. I like this control. Feast is being very, very patient. He's not losing all of his units, just not being too overzealous with his engagement. But he's got to be careful again. A key portion of the army are those Void Rays, and he cannot get those bad boys fungals, because if he does, he could be in a lot of trouble now. I do like this. Some of the infestors heading on forward, and look at this. He's putting the High Templars in regards to right over here, so that way as soon as those infestors walk forward, he's going to be able to feed back a lot of them, and that's so beautiful. Able to take out so much of the energy of them, but now he's got to control actually a lot of these the Void Rays, bring them back. He cannot lose them. Good job working the Stalkers back as well. But, you know, kind of at this point, as soon as he gets on supply block, if he still has his Spire up, he could just make a lot of Corruptors. And as soon as he does that, if he could take out the Void Rays just by themselves, he should be okay, just in general. Now, Feast has to pay attention to all of his units. There we go. Back up with the Void Ray. Doesn't want to lose them just like that for free. He's going to actually back up his Stalkers over here into the natural. But again, a lot of Roaches and a lot of Lings starting to press on forward, doing another warp in. Good work right there, even including Sentry, so he should be able to wall in. And again, Feast is not out of this game. He is kind of a little bit low on mining, as we see the mineral patches that are down to about 2 or 3. But overall, still it can be technically in the game if he just engages properly. The Infestors still don't have a lot of energy, and as we see, look at that. That's about as much as he's got. He's going to be able to poop a couple Infested Terrans here and there, which of course can maybe potentially not exactly win him the game, but if he could thwart off the Void Rays out of the game, and as we see one more getting even taken out, it's such a big advantage for him. I mean, at this point I would almost suggest the Void Rays to actually take out the Infested Terrans and see what he could do there in regards to that, but there we go. Again, just too much energy, still able to just force enough of them out, and it looks like Feast is going to have to tap out here momentarily as the Zerg army continues its press into the natural. And yay! We're back, we're fully recovered. Oh my god. Like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to cast normally. Like, I don't know if I was going to be able to cast normally after the whole big-time production that we had to do. It's definitely a lot different sitting at home in your couch. Oh, here we go, a little bit more additional action. But again, like I said, as long as the Corruptors eventually do come, there's not a lot that the Protoss player could do. And again, as we see another Void Ray, another 2-3 Void Rays getting taken down, there still is quite a few Stalkers over here, but on the ground there's a lot of Roaches, a lot of Lings, so that's going to be, even if they do blink right on top of the Broodlords, he's going to be able to take them out pretty darn quick. And yeah, GG coming from Feast. And that's going to wrap it up for game number 1 between Millenium and Fnatic. So Fnatic going up 1-0. Beautiful.